Welcome back, YouTube, to Cooking with Chef Tuan. Today we are going to be making some Biang Biang Noodles, otherwise known as hand-torn noodles. And as usual, the ingredients will be listed below. We're going to start with 200 grams of flour, 1 gram of salt, and then 101 grams of water. It is very important to weigh out that 1 extra gram. Now with this bowl, do not get rid of that bowl. Keep it there. You will need it. Trust me. So now all you gotta do is just mix the dough together with a chopstick or with a wooden spoon. And now with your hands, just bring everything together and start kneading it. This part right here is gonna throw you for a loop because the more that you knead it, the harder and tougher the dough is gonna be. And right here, it looks dry. But in the middle, some parts are sticky. That is when you need this little bit of water that's in there. Now dump that right onto the dough. But don't get rid of that bowl yet. Still leave it there. And continue to knead the dough. This will not get smooth anytime soon. Now you see that water that's still left in there? You guessed it. We're going to use it all. Now this is typically, every time that I've made it so far, that is all the water that you need. Now just keep working this dough until you don't see any more dry flour spots. This may take a few minutes, but all you got to do is just see what I'm doing. Use the palm of your hand or the heel of your palm, however you say it. Just knead it just like this. At this point, this dough is still kind of dry and it's tough and it's tight. And you probably start to think, man, does this guy know what he's doing? Is this going to turn out right? Trust me, this will blow your mind. And just keep kneading it until everything's incorporated. I can't stress that enough. Now this next part right here is the beginning of the transformation that's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna put it into a bowl and just cover it with a plate or plastic wrap or whatever for a half hour. Don't touch it for a half an hour. 30 minutes later, look at this is what you get. After I kneaded this for about 30-40 seconds, it is a lot softer, definitely a lot smoother, and a lot easier to work with. Now, after you cut them into quarters, you're gonna see that there's some exposed pieces. That is where you're gonna pinch them closed. That way, during the next resting process, the doughs will not dry out. So here, I'm just rolling it into little logs. Most people that I've seen make this dish, they leave it into logs just like this for the next resting period. Me, I like to flatten them out just a little bit. It makes the next step after the resting process easier to work with. And here, as you can see, I have all 4 quarters stacked up, put it into a greased bowl, and also I'm going to spray the top of it to prevent the doughs from drying. Now this will rest for 2 hours. This is the hardest part. So now after 2 hours, you're going to see how incredibly soft and pliable this dough is. It is so crazy. The gluten has completely relaxed. You see how it just flops down? So what I did was I just roll it out a little bit, flatten it up, use a chopstick to make an indentation because that is where we're going to pull it. So all you gotta do is just hold it between your thumb and your fingers like this, and just as you're gently pulling and stretching, you bang it against the table. That's how these noodles got that name. Biang Biang. That's supposedly the sound it makes when you're banging them against the table. So you keep doing this until all 4 pieces are done. And this is the funnest part of making this dish. Meanwhile, you should also be having a pot of water coming to a boil in the back. So when you're ready, you can just drop these in and they only take about 30-40 seconds to cook. And right here, what I'm doing is I'm making sure that all the noodles are the same thickness. And remember the indentation we made with the chopstick? Makes this easy to tear. That's why it's called hand-torn noodles. I also have about 4 or 5 tablespoons of corn oil heating up right now. We're gonna bring it up to its smoke point once it starts to smoke. Right now, you tear all your noodles before you drop them in the water. They should all cook at the same time. You can tear your noodles any way you want. I like to keep mine long and whole. It makes it more fun to eat. And also, I have some broccoli rabe. Traditionally, I think this is made with bok choy, but I didn't have any today, so everything goes into the same pot. It's gonna cook all the same way. I also have some fish cakes. These are already cooked, so it only needs to be dropped in to be brought up to temperature. Just stir it up for about 40 seconds or so, and then everything should be done and you fish them out. We're almost to the point where we can eat this, guys. We're almost there. Now, the traditional aromats of this dish is scallions and garlic, but I also like to add ginger. There's something about adding ginger to this that just elevates it a little bit more. And here I have about 2.5 tablespoons of dried chili flakes, and then here's that corn oil right on top. Listen to the sizzle. Oh man, guys, the smell that's coming off this is delicious. Here I have 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of Chinese black vinegar. Now you can find this at any local Asian grocery store, or you can find it online. All right, let's head to the table and eat. Look at this dish, guys. Your bright green vegetables, your chili, the soy sauce, the black vinegar. Gosh, this is incredible. The only thing they have to do now is just to stir it all up, mix it all together, and make sure everything is coated with that beautiful chili and sauce that we just made. Man, you guys really need to give this recipe a go. You won't regret it, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be one of your favorite things to eat. All right, I'm just gonna be quiet. I love these long, silky noodles. It's gonna be so much fun to eat, as well as delicious. Let's go for a bite. Wow, the chili, the vinegar, the soy sauce, and this fish cake. Oof, all these flavors just popping all over. Incredible. The texture of these noodles, they're so silky, fluffy. I don't know if that's, you can say fluffy, but silky and chewy, soft, supple. Man, I'm gonna scarf down the rest of this. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Have a good one. Peace.